Hey, everybody. I am Heidi Aderman here for our community collaboration in Orange Park, Florida. We are at St. John's River College at their campus, and we are practicing being comfortable, getting in front of the camera, using live stream online tools, and we're doing it together so it isn't so scary. And when things don't work, then we can cry out in frustration together instead of all alone, which is lonely and sad, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much, right? Okay.
let's avoid lonely and sad.
Yes, no one likes being lonely or sad. So I'm trying a new setup in here today. We'll see how this goes. I've got Dr. Ray helping me on the back end over here, although I'll fix something in a second. So what we're going to do today, we have David and we have Gwen with us. And so I'm going to interview them so that you can learn a little bit more about them. And I'm going to interview them with the style that I like to use for my live stream because I want everyone to know what the process is to get what you want in your life. It's that thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, actions lead to results. So positive thoughts in are going to lead to a positive result. Negative thoughts in, it's going to lead to a negative result. And it really works. So with each interview, I want you to see that these business owners have built something and it all started with a positive thought. So we're going to do 2 of those interviews today during this session. Before we get started, I want to remind everybody that we do a morning show. It starts at 9:30. So for everyone that's like, what's going on with the collaboration? I'm trying to put all of our news and announcements in there. One announcement, though, that I feel like just needs to carry over into this live stream. Janet Schick is doing her first live stream. We've got our first live streamer besides me. Yes. I'm so excited. So very, very excited. She's going to be posting that event in our Discord in the little event section, so you can see it there. But you can also go into our Discord and go to the Using Twitch channel. And there's a thread there that says, what is your Twitch channel? And Janet has posted her link there. So you can go and you can follow her link. And then we're also trying something new with, I think when she goes live, her thing should show up on our Win Every Time community channel. I think I hit a setting. I think that's what's going to happen. We'll find out next week. So testing. Here we go. So in our Discord is where we're having discussions about what we're doing in this collaboration in between these weekly sessions where we can see each other face to face and have that kind of interaction. But we're all busy. Some people can't make it to this meeting, which is why we're streaming this so that you can see the replay. You can kind of see people getting outside of their comfort zone a little bit, see what we're doing here, learn a little bit more about the collaboration, and see if this is something that you might want to get involved with. As Janet said earlier in the stream, it's a fun way to go about this that you almost forget that you're actually still doing some business stuff. So that's what I like to hear. I like fun. All right. So shall we get started with some interviews? All right. David or Gwen, who's going to go first? All right. David, come on up. All right.
Hello, everybody.
Look, he's here. So I am super excited that you're here, that you showed up.
Oh,
And that you're helping people in the Discord.
yeah. Trying to reach out to help people just to show them, little tips and try to really leverage technology.
That's awesome. And technology is kind of one of your specialties.
Yeah. I'm the founder of Linwood Analytics, and what we do is, I like to say we build digital robots to help small and medium-sized businesses not only get more new business, but get more business from existing customers. So there's a plethora of technology at all of our fingertips. And so that's really what I'm trying to do, is help people gain that leverage of technology.
So with your business, in this case, are you teaching people how to set this up, or do you do the service for them and you program these robots to do my bidding?
We can go either way. What I'm finding is that people are more comfortable having it done for them.
Okay,
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so what topic do you want to talk about today?
Well, I just wanted to talk a little bit of kind of my origin story and how I got founded with Linwood Analytics. And it goes back to my early days in the corporate world, where you would try to get something accomplished. You'd go to IT and you'd say, "Hey, give me this, and this will really help me." And you explain to them, you're passionate, you're waving your arms and everything. And they say, "That's wonderful. I tell you what, we're going to put it on next quarter's visioning session, and we'll figure out where in the 5-year timeline that fits in." Well, meanwhile, I'm saying I want something next week. And so, if any of you that worked in a large corporate America, if you haven't, trust me, this is really how it works. You find yourself needing to figure stuff out to solve problems that you have an immediate need for. And so I got particularly adept at doing that. In fact, I had other people coming to me saying, "Hey, I can't get IT to do anything. Can you show me how to do this?" So, that was part of my job that I just really enjoyed the most, because when you got that problem and you figure out how to set it just the right way and you get it, and it looks like a magic trick because all the dominoes just blow at once and you get that certain thrill. And that's what I get a kick out, is figuring out how to make it work. And when it finally works and you get the result you're looking
Awesome. So if I'm hearing you right, what you were thinking about to kick all this off is I am so frustrated with the fact that I can't get this one simple thing to help me do my job.
That's right.
And so I said it made you feel frustrated, but what other feelings did you feel?
Well, I knew there had to be a way. I didn't know how to make it do it, but I knew it could be done. And kind of, I guess I felt determined, almost wanting to like prove my hypotheses correct.
I will show you.
That's right. Stubbornness can be a valuable tool if harnessed for good, not evil.
Beautiful. We need superhero capes now.
Da-da-da. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's awesome. So where did that lead you? Like, how did you get started? You're like, okay, IT's not helping me. So now what? What did you do then?
Yeah. You just looked around for resources. YouTube's a fabulous resource now. You can go and search just about any topic in the world. I like to say going to the University of YouTube to, to figure out what you need done. And you spend a little bit of time in the university and check into watch some videos. You solve part of the problem, and then you find another solution to another part of the problem, and before you know it, you've lined up 6 things, and it works. And that's the thrill.
So research, figuring out how to use the tool that you found, and then applying it to the situation.
Sprinkled some determination in
with some sprinkles of determination on top.
Absolutely.
And a cherry on top.
Absolutely.
Okay, so from all of that, from the efforts that you put together, trying to find out what the right solutions, how did that make your job easier to do? How did that make your life?
Oh, I mean, you would just do things that people would say they didn't even know could be done. And, just seeing that excitement in somebody's eyes when something that they found to be a problem that just instantly just flows. To me, that's very exciting and very encouraging.
So something else that I like to ask as part of this, and I didn't warn you about this question, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm very interested in habits because really it's a series of habits that add up to where you are in life right now. If you want to be somewhere different in your life, change your habits. So what is one or 2 habits that you've found that has given you the most success?
I think, when rather and not settling on just the easy way out. Okay. A lot of times you can say, well, I could just write it out by hand. But we all know, but you're writing it out by hand every day, 10 minutes a day, whatever. But we all know this box on there sitting on your desk and you can make it work. So I'd say the habit of not giving in to the, succumbing to just doing the manual. Because when you solve the automatic the first time, then mounts up day after day after day when you inure the benefits of it. It's kind of like compound interest.
I also see it as a video game because I'm like, okay, so to get to the next level, I have to understand how to do this. And when I figure it out, it's magically going to do what I want it to do.
Yes.
And like, I just see like Mario, like jumping, grabbing onto the flag and like writing it down. And I'm like, yes, I
There you
did it.
I didn't think of that. There may be some application to gameplay.
Oh, I certainly think that there is. Otherwise I can't do this.
Everybody likes a player.
So, David, what are some ways that you help save people time and energy?
Basically, it's giving people, letting them vent and discovering what their problem is. What's their pain? What is it that's driving them nuts? Because if it doesn't bother them, then they'll have no incentive to try to do anything about it. Once we can understand what that frustration is, then we can start working on coming up with solutions to deal with it. And that's what I think people are looking for. So a lot of, getting to know people, business owners, is helping them comfortable revealing where their frustrations are, because we all want to say we're perfect and our businesses are perfect and we have nothing we can improve. But that's not true. We all have frustrations. So I think working with owners, developing that rapport, and really it's trust, is being trusting to tell me what the issue is so that we can start developing a solution for it.
Definitely, because I don't want people to know I have weaknesses. So trust me, you're gonna just help me with those weaknesses and not judge me for all of
And
them.
I won't tell anybody what your week.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Otherwise, people will be coming to the meeting with kryptonite and be like, here you go.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, we're kind of out there. I mean, we thought you were talking about digital robots, and here we are talking about weaknesses.
that's right. It all comes back around.
It does. We're all humans.
So thank you for doing this interview.
you.
Impromptu with no notice that you were going to have
Bye.
any of those questions asked of you today.
Well, I hope some of you at home find some value on it, and there's some stuff that I've learned along the way, and I look forward to learning more from the rest of you.
Well, I think it's great because, you identified a problem, and rather than sitting around and going, well, it's going to be fine, I'm going to write it on paper and it'll be fine. You went outside of your comfort zone to find solutions that were going to solve the problem long term instead of just being a short Band-Aid fix. And those feelings of frustration and determination helped drive you through
Yep.
figuring out what those answers were. I'm sure even on those days where you wanted to take the computer and throw it.
Yep.
And the result was good for your company and good for your personal growth, and even other people getting inspired by the idea that, oh, hey, David could do this, so maybe I could. And then they came to you for help.
Yep.
So with that being said, what have you been thinking about? What do you want to teach as part of this opportunity?
Well, I think part of what I'd like to teach people is how we can keep pace with the technology that's coming by us. Because we're all busy, we're all trying to keep up, we're on a little hamster wheel, trying to keep going. But we need to take the time to take advantage of the tools that are around us. Okay. So, for example, for business owners, what's your conversation with your old customers? When was the last time you reached out? And how do you do that? And what I hear is that people say, I don't have time.
I hear that a lot too.
And that's when we can leverage technology to start delivering messages to engage them to continue. Because the easiest sales we can make are the people that have already bought us.
Amen. I love it. All right, well, it was great to be able to introduce you at a little deeper level to everyone out there watching. Now, for community members, David is going to help with figuring out the Discord. So don't be surprised if you get a personal message from him once you join the Discord. And don't be surprised if he's like, meet me over at the lounge, let's hang out and like try some stuff. It's okay. You guys won't break the Discord
No.
if you click on stuff.
And I'm not a creepy guy, just trying to get you in the lounge.
And if you if you put things in the wrong spot, I'll use it as a teaching lesson and I'll be like, hey, actually we started this list over here and this is no problem. We're
Yep.
all learning here. As the
Practice,
running
practice,
suit
practice.
guy says, we don't lose, we learn.
That's right.
All right, thanks, David. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. All right, so next up we have Gwen. Come on up here.
Miss Gwen.
You can cheat. All right. Oh, before we start, Dr. Ray, do we have anybody commenting anything? Do I need to say hello to anybody? Okay. All right, Gwen, thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you.
Let me make sure that you're in the shot. So let's see, we're right here. So let's, yep. So I need to maybe even, here we go. A little, oh, Buddha races says, hey. Is there anybody over there? Any comments? Well, Gwen, thank you for joining us today.
Well, Heidi, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
I'm excited to learn a little bit more about you. What topic do you want to talk about today?
Well, I want to talk about first, I wrote this book called Off the Wall. Getting off the
Awesome.
wall.
So you're
and
an author.
yes, I am.
Oh my goodness. Like what were you thinking about when you
don't wanna
started
know.
doing that? I do want to
You
know.
don't want to know. Well, it's a long story. I was thinking about, but I'll condense it somewhat. After I had gone through a series of life events, including 2 divorces, and being of a certain age, I started dating. And that was a lot of fun. So that sort of prompted me to write the book. And I had like 5 years worth of notes that I used to write the book. But then I wrote a lot about my life events and things that I had gone through and what I had learned. So that brought me to tie in all of my life experiences and education and skills into, I was therapist for about approximately 30 years. I also worked and I also worked at this time as a tax consultant, income tax consultant, and also as a life coach. So I tie everything in together.
Nice.
I have an acronym that I use called PIES. Eat it up. PIES. It's PIEESS. Physical, intellectual, emotional, economical, social, and spiritual. But today I want to really focus on the economical aspects, especially since it's tax time. And I really would like to talk about and educate people on how to prepare for your taxes and things that you need to know, things to do and things not to do.
I love this because my co-host, Mike from the morning show, he texted me just last week. He's like, do you know what I'm supposed to do with this on my taxes? And I'm like, not a tax preparer, but I'll hook you up.
Okay, now there's a difference in a tax preparer and a tax consultant.
Okay, tell me.
Because oftentimes I have people that will come to my office and they're referred by someone else. Usually they are in trouble when they come because then they're referred by someone else. And if they bring the previous taxes, income taxes, I can go over those and I can see some things that could have been done differently, and therefore I can prepare a 1040X, which is a correction. And they'll oftentimes say, oh, well, did they do this wrong? No, they did not do it wrong. Because when you go to some, and I won't name any of the companies, when you go to some of these companies, the people that are preparing your taxes are taught to put income on line 12, you put expenses here. They're just taught to do that. They do not have the knowledge to analyze your taxes, to know what
And they'll
deductions,
oftentimes say,
to know what deductions that you can take given any industry that you're employed in, or whatever. They do not have that information, nor do they know it. I also keep abreast of every year something changes in the tax structure.
Mhm.
So we keep abreast of, oftentimes we'll have people that come in that have to do 3 or 4 years of taxes. So we need to know in 2021, something might have been deductible, or there might have been a special credit. In 2022, that particular credit in 2021 was no longer available, but there might have been something else. So we have to keep abreast of those kinds of things. But if you go to a tax preparer, they're just going to indicate on your tax form the information that you provide, because they don't have that knowledge.
So basically, it's like me doing my taxes, they just know what boxes to put the numbers
Correct.
in,
Correct.
and that might be
Correct.
one step above my
Correct.
knowledge level at that point.
Correct.
I see. So, uh, what were you thinking about that got you into wanting to do tax preparation stuff?
Well, before I do that, another aspect of that really is uh, the main focus really I was wanted to deal with was, you see a lot of these signs that say credit repair.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You know, I also do, I don't call it credit preparedness for yourself. There's no such thing as credit repair. No one can repair your credit. You have to prepare yourself for your credit worthiness. And I also teach that.
Hmm.
That is really my pet peeve, because I learned the hard way about credit and having credit and not having credit. Years ago, during the Jurassic period, I call it. It was a good thing. You probably remember that. It was a good thing. It was a good thing to pay all of your bills, to pay all of your accounts out. And I did that. I didn't use credit for years, and I was so proud that I would just pay, purchase whatever I wanted and not use credit. I paid off all my creditors, and I was really happy. Now, the thing that drove me to pay off all of my creditors, at one point you could deduct the interest from your credit cards. But when that was eliminated, I'm like, well, I can't count on my taxes anymore, so I'm not going to carry debt on credit cards because I can't deduct the interest. So that prompted me to do that. But I found out the hard way when I got ready to purchase an automobile. I went in and they were like, you know, you're not qualified. I'm like, I'm not qualified. Excuse me. I said, I don't owe anybody anything. They said, that's the problem. You have not used credit, so we cannot prove your credit worthiness.
That probably felt pretty bad, huh?
And I thought that I was ahead of the curve here.
Right.
I walked in so proud. I don't owe anybody. I know I won't have a problem purchasing this automobile. Then I did my research. Okay, the rules have changed. So I researched the credit industry, what was allowed, what was not allowed, what was good to do, what was not good to do. And I actually started assisting people. Not only did I improve my credit, but I started assisting other people in improving their credit.
So I love this. So what you were thinking about and what you were feeling from that situation led you to research and learn more about it yourself. But then you didn't stop there.
You know,
You were like, everybody needs to know
yeah,
about
I
this.
gotta help people, especially my tax customers that would come in, because I would oftentimes have people that were wanting to purchase an automobile, and especially those that wanted to purchase a home. So I would provide information for them, and then I would advise them, if you do desire to purchase a home in the future, you need to start today preparing your credit worthiness and knowing what it was, what you needed to do, and what you did not need to do.
So how does knowing this knowledge and teaching this knowledge to people, how has that enriched your life?
It has enriched my life financially.
Yes.
I was able to purchase, usually I would purchase my automobiles with, because I had increased my credit score to like over 800. I could purchase an automobile without interest, and that saved thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Now, recently, I guess about 3 years ago, unfortunately, I found out the hard way that not using all of your credit cards can cause problems.
Mhm.
For example, I had 5 stores. I had the store credit card. Then the stores began having the bank credit cards. So once I upgraded from the store card, I don't want to call any particular stores, but the Sears, I'll use Sears because they are no longer here. If I had the Sears card, I then applied for the Sears bank card. Well, I'm not, so I had this situation occur with 5 different stores. So I'm not going to use the Sears store card and the Sears bank card.
Mhm.
So for several years, I didn't, I used the cards, I paid off my balances at the end of the month. Then the organization that handles that manages one organization, I won't call their name either, that manages most of the credit cards.
Mhm.
They decided to close out the store cards because I had not used those cards. Well, who's going to use the store card, 2 cards from the same department store?
Right.
No one is going to do that. I do now, but anyway, I did
You had to
not.
come up with a
I
process
did.
for
Oh
it.
yeah, I have a process for it, but I did not know that at the time. So what I did was, well, anyway, my credit score fell by 50 points, which was devastating.
Mhm.
But being that it was over 800, it was still in a very good, it was a very good, but I was like devastated because no deficit action on my part, my
Mhm.
credit score drops 50 points, which I thought was crazy. And so sometimes these kinds of things occur when we don't know, and we have absolutely no control over it. But I do now, I know what to do. That will be given at a later date.
Well, and when you're doing a lot of things right and you have a higher credit score, when something happens
Yeah.
that you're like, oh, I didn't know about that one. It gives you a
So
little bit
yeah,
of
yeah,
a
it's a
wiggle
little,
room
yeah, it
to,
gives you a little wiggle room.
yes, to adjust and get those points back, right?
Right.
All right. Well, now let me ask you, what is one habit that you have found that has helped with your success?
Oh, one habit that I have is I plan everything. I have a calendar that I use, daily activities, weekly, monthly, and annually, things I want to achieve. Every day I have a sheet, I have a spreadsheet that I use every morning. I do my blood pressure, my weight. I check into my Weight Watchers on what I'm going to eat, on my meals.
Mhm.
Um, I check off. I check a lot of things that I have to report to my doctor because oftentimes you go to the doctor and they'll ask you about certain things. Well, if you haven't been following it, you have no idea. So I do. I do my monthly breast self exams. I check everything out every morning. Some things I do a week. When I get my nails done, I have that when it's time to get my nails done.
Yes.
When it's time to shampoo my hair twice, twice a week, what I have that. And I can go and look, okay, if I forget to do it there's no big deal. The
Mhm.
same thing with my weight and my exercises that I do every day. I do a series of exercise one day I do one series of physical exercise and the next day strength, but if I forget or whatever, I just draw a line through it, no big deal.
Mhm.
If you're consistent, I feel like 95% of the time, you're going to be okay.
That's right. Inconsistently or imperfectly consistent.
Imperfectly,
That's what I was
imperfectly.
looking for.
I always tell people I'm not perfect, but I'm so close.
That's beautiful. Okay, so last question. What are you thinking about teaching here with this opportunity?
I would love to teach credit preparedness, what I call household financial management.
I love it. I love it. I feel like it's something that probably should be taught in maybe high school,
Yes.
maybe junior high. I mean, let's start early. Let's start early before all of those money
Yes,
limiting
yeah,
beliefs
that's
come in
junior
and tell you to
Yeah.
you can't ever figure it out. Because that's
Right.
I feel like where I was at, where I was like, you know what? Large amount of money is never going to be something that I can have. So therefore,
Exactly.
I didn't take the time to learn everything about finances and compound interest and all of these other things because I just felt like it wasn't something that I was ever going to have. I was in that poor rock star mentality. And so changing those mindsets with what you're doing, with what you're teaching is really powerful.
And there's one thing I would like to get this in, included with that is, especially with, I also have a real estate license, but anyway, that's another whole animal. But
It does tie in with finance, though. I
It
can
does
see
tie
why
in with
they're connected.
finances. So I had this friend, he purchased a home, and I suggested to him, it was maybe 22 years ago, to pay biweekly. I said, you need to pay biweekly, and I explained that process to him. I said, now they probably would try to talk you out of it or charge you, but whatever the fee is, you go ahead and pay it. So it was maybe 22 years ago. He called me the other day. He said, Gwen, my house is 30-year mortgage. It's paid off. He said, I am so glad that I listened to you as usual. And I've told several friends, but they wouldn't listen. So he's a testament, and he brags about it to all of the others that wouldn't listen.
That's awesome.
So he paid his house off in like 7.5 years earlier by just paying bi-weekly payments.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Well, Gwen, thank you for being here and taking the time to explain a little bit more about you do. As I had no idea that you went and had all this knowledge about finance and like taxes and I knew we were on the same page with coaching, but I had no idea about the other stuff that you do. So thank you for sharing with that with us today. Awesome. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, well, we had someone sneak in last minute. Miss Debbie Pascal. We're not going to be able to get you in for a full interview, but we could definitely do a 1 minute, which is what we're here for. All of us to do 1 minute. Oh wait, maybe I need it. Sorry.
Be shorter.
Here we go. There
Yeah,
we
I
go.
noticed last week when we did our thing that like this.
Yeah, it was not good. We're working on, framing being a little better.
Continuous improvement.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
All right.
Hi.
Debbie,
Yes.
tell the people who you are.
My name is Debbie Pasco and my business is Healthy is Beautiful.
And
I help people to improve their health and their well-being by changing kind of their habits and their mindsets so that they can live their best life for the rest of their life.
like we were talking about earlier.
That's exactly what we're talking about because it's all true. No matter who says it, if it's true, it's true.
One of your main focuses is nutrition and eating
Mhm.
strategies,
Yep.
right? So how do I work with you?
So what I do when I'm talking to somebody is learn what your current reality is, what your history is. Do you have any medical issues, that kind of thing? Because we need to make sure that we put somebody with the right program. And then we sit down and we say, okay, well, this is what nutrition looks like. We know, like in the US in 2024 now, it's just not that easy to just go out in the world and get good nutrition because it's just not. I mean, the things that are available to us are not optimal. The things that are being promoted are not optimal. And even we've gotten to the point now with over farming and all the things, even like a carrot out of the ground today is not as nutritious as a carrot out of the ground 100 years ago. So just the world has changed. And so we need to change with it if we want to live our best lives.
Well, that's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Debbie Pasco, everybody. Healthy is beautiful. All right, so before I go, I guess I'll do my 1 minute. My name is Heidi Aderman. I am the host today of our Win Every Time collaboration, but not only that, I am a coach that helps people have time and energy for everything that they want to do. I'm going to go shoot an archery tournament this weekend. That's what I'm going to be talking about for a little bit during my live stream at 4 p.m. today. Because, man, when you're talking about sports and athletics, half of the victory all starts up here. So that's what I'm going to be talking about later in my live stream. Gwen, I need to make sure that I get you on Discord and we've got you all set up with that. I want to make sure that I tag you with a role. And this is my announcement that this is the new thing that I've added on our Discord is I have created roles. There'll be more roles that are created as more people join our community with certain specialties. So I've got, some people on the welcoming team. So when new people join Discord, they're going to welcome people. Those are great people to reach out to. If you have questions about Discord, they will help you. I've got all of the coaches that I know of are all labeled. So if you're looking for other coaches to collaborate with, I also made us a coaches private channel so that we could collaborate together. So if you're not on those things, make sure to reach out to me so that I can get you hooked up because lots of cool stuff going on online. All right, well, that is it for us today at St. John's River State, our in-person collaborations and content creation. Don't forget, you have a week to go to Twitch and cut out your 1 minute or cut out your interview so that you can use that on your own social media pages. And if you have questions about how to do that, David will help you.
Give me a holler.
Okay. Do I have your number?
All right, well, I'm Heidi Aderman signing out today. Just remember, we do not lose, we learn.